Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this video series where I am reading through Awareness Through Movement by Moshe Feldenkrais. And I'm not going to say too much more. If you've been following along, we're just going to jump back into it. But the name of this chapter is Where to Begin and How. And I think you'll see this is where we really start to get into the heart of the ideas that Feldenkrais uses to create the method and really how it operates, why it works. So listen up. All right, here we go. Where to begin and how. Methods for human correction. The problem of human correction, either through others or by one's own efforts, has preoccupied man throughout his history. Many systems were devised for this purpose. The various religions have tried to describe ways of behavior intended to bring about man's improvement. Different systems of analysis are intended to assist man to free himself from deep-seated compulsions in his behavior. Esoteric, that is, internal systems practiced in Tibet, India, and Japan, and used in all periods of human history, have also influenced Judaism. The Kabbalists, Hasidim, and the less known practitioners of Musar, moralists, were more influenced by Zen and Raja Yoga than appears at first sight. A whole series of methods of suggestion and hypnosis, whether of many people or of a single person, are also common today. At least 50 such methods are known to be used in different corners of the world that are considered to be the method by those who practice them. States of human existence. Two states of existence are commonly distinguished: waking and sleeping. We shall define a third state, awareness. In this state, the individual knows exactly what he is doing while awake, just as we sometimes know when awake that we dreamed while asleep. For instance, at 40, a man may become aware that one of his legs is shorter than the other. Only after having suffered backaches, having had x-rays taken, and the trouble diagnosed by a doctor. This is possible because the waking state in general more resembles sleep than awareness. Sleep has always been considered a convenient state in which to induce improvement in man. Coué used the movements when an individual is just falling asleep for autosuggestion and sleep itself for suggestion. In hypnosis, the subject is put into a state of partial or deep sleep in order to make him more amenable to suggestion. In certain modern methods, sleep is used to teach mathematics or languages, as well as for suggestion. The waking state seems to be a good condition in which to learn processes that involve repetition and explanation, but not suggestion. Habits acquired in the waking state are difficult to change, but they present little hindrance in grasping new matter. The components of the waking state. 4 components make up the waking state: sensation, feeling, thought, and movement. Each one serves as a basis for a whole series of methods of correction. In sensation, we include, in addition to the 5 familiar senses, the kinesthetic sense, which comprises pain, orientation in space, the passage of time, and rhythm. In feeling, we include, apart from the familiar emotions of joy, grief, anger, and so forth, self-respect, inferiority, supersensitivity, and other conscious and unconscious emotions that color our lives. Thinking includes all functions of intellect, such as the opposition of right and left, good and bad, right and wrong, understanding, knowing that one understands, classifying things, recognizing rules, imagining, knowing what is sensed and felt, remembering all of the above, and so on. Movement includes all temporal and spatial changes in the state and configuration of the body and its parts, such as breathing, eating, speaking, blood circulation, and digestion. Talking about separate components is an abstraction. The exclusion of any one of the four components is justified only in speech. In reality, not a moment passes in the waking state in which all man's capacities are not employed together. It is impossible, for instance, for you to recall an event, person, or landscape without using at least one of the senses, sight, hearing, or taste, to recapture the memory, together with your self-image at the time, such as your position, your age, appearance, action, or pleasant or unpleasant feelings. It follows from this interaction that detailed attention to any of these components will influence the others, hence the whole person. In reality, there is no practical way of correcting an individual except by gradual improvement, alternating between the whole and its parts. Differences in systems seem greater in theory than in practice. The real differences between the various correction systems is not so much in what they do as in what they say they do. Explicitly or implicitly, most of the systems are built on the assumption that man has innate propensities that can be changed. That is, suppressed, controlled, or inhibited. All systems that maintain that a man has a fixed character consider each of his qualities, properties, and gifts like a brick in a building. One or another brick in some buildings may be missing or faulty. These systems require years of effort from one person who wishes to help himself. Some of them even require him to devote his entire life to it. Improvement of processes as opposed to improvement of properties. This static approach turns correction into a lengthy and complicated process. I believe that it is based on wrong assumptions, for it is impossible to repair the faulty bricks in man's structure, or to replace those which are missing. Man's life is a continuous process, and the improvement is needed in the quality of the process, not in his properties or disposition. Many factors influence this process, and they must be combined to make it fluid and self-adjusting. The more clearly the fundamentals of the process are understood, the greater will be the achievements. Faults are used in improvement. Just as in any complicated process, deviations are used to help correct its progression, so in the correction of man, faults and deviations should not be suppressed, overlooked, or overcome by force in any way, but used to direct his correction.